Hey everyone, Chris Fuller with JC Digital Media Agency. I am the education coordinator, bringing you this moment from a recording. We have been going through a series, and we'll share my screen, which we're talking about social media. How do we utilize it? And previous week or last week, I started with doing some stats and about how consumers do research through social media. You may be a franchise, you own your own business, you may be an agent, like an insurance agent, or the company might be, different guidelines, right? So, take this, apply it. Again, you may be working with an agency, a marketing agency, a social media agency, maybe even a media agency. Like, what's the difference, right? But I think this is good information for you all. And so this is my takeaway. And again, social media is today's digital handshake. Here we go. Okay, so the objective is knowing your audience, tailoring your message, and identify which platform your target audience uses the most. I will do my best to make this as quick as possible. Okay, so social visibility builds credibility. The idea is that in this world of all this stuff going around, again, social media can be used in the broader marketing campaign and strategy. But the idea is, how do we get the information where people see us, people get to know us, people then begin to trust us as our brand, right? What are we representing? And so algorithms reward regular, authentic activity. I think I did some research where having AI do everything could hinder you. But the idea is creating content, posts, pictures, videos, get those impressions out there, get awareness of who you are to your target customer. And ideally, as you start looking at the data, like, how do we create those engagements? Is it, we want to be funny? Is it we want to be really good on delivering authentic information to people, or actually researching, right? So it depends on what you're doing for your business. So kind of looking at this graphic or stat, so over 246 million users in the United States, or 73% of the population. But one thing, if you do have a marketing company, or you can try to do research on your own, there's different things. But the idea is, let's say if 73% of the population uses social media in some fashion or form, you can kind of apply that to, Georgia, to southern Atlanta, maybe Peachtree, Sharpsburg, whatever you're targeting. And there's some things that we're not going to go into, but tools that you can utilize. And users spend about 2.5 hours per day on social media. There's different graphics or different information on kind of who is interacting with each of the different social media platforms. There are more than this, like X is not even on this particular stat. But again, you can kind of tailor what are the demographics. Tailoring content by platform, I think that's where, you kind of look at from an age group, but again, you may not want to just apply age. Your target market may be, couples, they may be homeowners, and they may be just businesses, right? And so you may not look at the same demographics. So that's again where marketing comes in. If you're selling floors, for example, you may be looking at apartment complexes, maybe some bigger commercial buildings, and you may also be looking at who owns a home, right? Maybe not exactly the renters. You may not be able to purchase floors. So again, what does that look like, right? And so when you look at a slide like this, are we trying to communicate a story, awareness? Are we trying to be authentic, trendy? Again, like for example, with budget blinds. Hesitant not to call you out, Hope, but just to talk about how, again, you're utilizing your Instagram, which is great. You're posting things that people want to see, that if they're looking for aesthetically pleasing, that can decorate my home. And are we using that? So again, I don't have a lot of times. Each of you guys has a different audience that, so we can dive way deeper into this, but kind of understand your target audience. Who are you looking for, and what preferred platform you like to use? It's not about being on every platform. It's about being where your clients are. So this is my task for you all, is to identify your top 2 client demographics, choose 1 or 2 platforms, tailor your message, and have about 3 posts. Now again, this could be video, And maybe next week we'll talk about long form, short form. If you don't know, I mean, you definitely Google those things, but I think there's a lot more to that. Even how you can create those videos and make paid social and advertisement pieces. Just be engaging, post, be visible where your audience already is. Consistency and engagement matter more than perfection. If you do have any questions or have time to share some examples of how you utilize, I know Troy, you've utilized social media a lot to get referrals, and so that's another form of using social media. It may not be exactly creating real shorts. For some of you all, like, you have great stories to tell, great things I think would be beneficial for people to learn, and so you could do short series, tutorial, YouTube, whatever it is. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or contact me at the email address on there. Well, thanks, and back to you.